In 1977, Star Wars changed movies forever, solidifying the coming of the blockbuster and changing the way that we looked at merchandising moving forward. That same year, Pepsi decided to change things up as well, though, to be fair, in a very different way, by getting into the restaurant business so that it would be able to more directly compete with Coca-Cola, which had really cornered the market by being the go-to soda for big franchises like McDonald's. So in 1977, Pepsi purchased Pizza Hut, but it wouldn't stop there. In the next year, 1978, it would go on to purchase Taco Bell, and then eventually in 1986, KFC. Now, these seemingly unconnected events would collide in 1999, when these three fast food giants would unite for one of the biggest promotions in fast food history. That being Defeat the Dark Side, which was meant to promote Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This series of videos is going to be building to that moment in pop culture history. But before we reach that, we're going to go back and explore the different kids' meals, promotions, and collectibles that these restaurants put out from their creation until 1999. Today's video is going to be focusing in on Pizza Hut, and so as we're going through, if you see anything in here that you remember, coming across as a kid or, as an adult either, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing about people's experiences with these things. And if you want to make sure to be notified when we do finally get to talking about episode 1 or about Taco Bell or KFC in the coming weeks, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And as you're waiting for those videos to come out, you can always go back and check out the different videos that I've made already, talking about Burger King, McDonald's, or a bunch of different things that connect to pop culture. We kick it off in 1977 with a set of glasses that tied into the release of the Disney animated movie, The Rescuers. Now, I don't usually get mad when I'm making these videos, but this clip, this commercial, it made me angry. Just listen to how good of a deal it was to get one of these cups.
The stars of Walt Disney Studios' new animated movie, The Rescuers, are on special glasses at Pizza Hut. Buy a 49-cent Pepsi and keep the glass. A different one every week.
It's just insane. Nowadays, they would charge you like $15 for one of these things. It's ridiculous. The next thing that I came across as I was going through the history of the collectibles you could get at Pizza Hut was a series of different Paddington-based Christmas ornaments that ran from 1980 until 1983. Each one of them had a different Christmas scene that had a Paddington on it. And I just love these things. Again, something that I might actually want to look into getting eventually because I just love Paddington. In the year 1986, Flintstone Kids would be featured on glasses at Pizza Hut. I just love these classic designs. Can I say for sure that the paint used in these doesn't have lead in it? I don't know. Maybe it does. But honestly, at this point, I'd be willing to risk it. In 1988, the classic animated movie The Land Before Time was released, and to go along with that, there were different hand puppets that you could get at Pizza Hut. There were 6 of these in total. You could get Littlefoot, Sarah, Spike, Ducky, Petrie, or a puppet of the Sharptooth. The next set of hand puppets that you could get at Pizza Hut would be available in 1990, and these tied in with the Nickelodeon TV show Eureka's Castle. You could purchase one of 3 of these, and they were all available for 99 cents. You could choose between either Eureka, Batty, or Magellan the Dragon. Over the years of 1990 to 1991, there was an interesting collaboration that really kind of makes sense, and that is with Ninja Turtles. But it wasn't just tying into the Ninja Turtles cartoon. It was actually a full-blown musical experience where you could get a cassette tape that had music put on by the Ninja Turtles that was available exclusively at Pizza Hut. Along with this promotion, you could get videos of the concerts that would go along with these audio cassettes. There was even a behind-the-scenes video that Pizza Hut put out, which was in universe, so not like an actual behind-the-scenes, but kind of showing what it was like for the Turtles to put on this concert. If you're a fan of Ninja Turtles at all and like weird things, I definitely recommend checking out this video. 1991 would also see a promotion that is for a movie that I just absolutely love, and that is The Rocketeer. There are cups available both for adults and kids, as well as gliders that you could fold out of paper, and packaging that would also advertise the movie. Whenever I think about this movie, I'm constantly a little bit sad because of how much it just didn't take off for people. Something that was popular, however, was the movie that was connected to the next promotion that came out in 1992, and that is, of course, Beauty and the Beast, where you could get one of 4 different hand puppets. Those characters that you could get in there were Belle, Beast, Chip, and Cogsworth. The Disney animated show Darkwing Duck would also have a promotion in the year 1992. This one would tie in with the kids' pizza pack. A lot of the time, these ones would come with especially designed boxes, a small toy or an activity that you could do, but also a cup that would tie in with the franchise that was being advertised. 1992 would also see the Universal Studios Monsters show up in the kids' meals over at Pizza Hut. These would also be featured in the Burger King Kids Club meals, which I talked about in a previous video. So it is cool to see them show up again. I enjoy anytime we get a chance to see these classic monsters show up. So this is cool since there are, cup toppers as well as trading cards that you could collect. 1992 was a busy year over at Pizza Hut. You could also get a kids pizza pack that was advertising the movie Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. You could get, of course, like usual, some collector's cups, but also you could get a set of seeds that you could plant, which does go along well with the themes of that movie. In 1993, we would see the TV show that would eventually become the Goofy movie be featured at Pizza Hut. You could get 4 different wearable items. You could either get a sweatband, a hat, a set of shoelaces, or an iron-on transfer for a t-shirt. That year, Pizza Hut would also celebrate the video release of Aladdin, which itself would come with coupons that you could use at your local Pizza Hut. But then, of course, the pizza pack would come with a cup, as well as a few different activities. In 1993, there was also a promotion called Air Garfield, where you would get a collectible cup as well as one air toy that tied in with Garfield, either a kite or like a parachute figure. 1993 would also see the X-Men be featured at Pizza Hut, where there would be a kids pizza pack with the usual items, but then there would also be a couple of videotapes that you could purchase, which would include episodes from the cartoon, as well as behind-the-scenes interviews with people like Stan Lee. 1994 would see a tie-in with another Disney animated show. This one is one that is, for most people, I think is pretty forgotten, but it's based off of a comic, and it's called Marsupilami, I think is how you're supposed to say it. I'm sure people will let me know if I said it wrong. Marsupilami. In this one, you could get either like a jump rope or a yo-yo. The animated movie Page Master would also have a tie-in in 1994. The big tie-in on this one, though, was for a family meal deal, which would get you a full-size pizza, some breadsticks, a drink, but then also a board game that tied in to the movie. There were 4 of those that you could collect. In 1995, there were some toys called the Mascot Misfits. These would have, in my opinion, very ugly faces, right? I guess the best way for me to describe it, put onto different sports equipment, including a soccer ball, like a frisbee, a football, and a baseball. Another kind of iconic tie-in that Pizza Hut had were the glow-in-the-dark hand puppets that went along with the release of the movie Casper. There were 4 to collect in here. You could get Casper as well as his 3 uncles, Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso. Hand puppets just kind of seemed to be Pizza Hut's thing because in 1996, there were 2 new hand puppets you could collect that tied in with the release of the Elijah Wood movie Flipper, based off of the old TV show. There's, of course, a hand puppet that was Flipper himself, but there was also a hammerhead shark. The kids pack would have separate toys that would include one of 3 different Flipper trick toys. Speaking of things that were old but then got new versions of them, Johnny Quest was an old TV show that got kind of like a reboot in the mid-90s, and that reboot had a tie-in here at Pizza Hut where you could get one of 4 different Quest packs. These would include a number of different things, including little figures of different characters from the show, including Johnny, Jesse, Haji, and then a cyber version of Johnny Quest. Goosebumps was huge in the mid-90s, with the book series and the TV show both being huge hits. So it's no surprise that they would end up at a restaurant at some point. Here in the United States, we got these glow and tell cards, which were punch outs, which had different characters that tied into the series. I don't usually mention international toys, but Australia had some super cool hand puppets here, which I was bummed out to learn did not get released in the United States at all. 1997 would also see the special edition release of the original Star Wars trilogy. This is just a little preview of what is to come when we are going to be looking at Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in a few weeks. But over at Pizza Hut, what you could get would be a poster that would go along with each of the movies, as well as pizza boxes that were printed in black and white that would encourage you to color them. I do think that is kind of funny because a lot of characters in Star Wars are either just completely black or completely white. So really the C-3PO one is the only one that's worth getting to color. As we move into 1999, another very memorable tie-in that Pizza Hut had were these 2 PlayStation demo discs. Each one of them had 5 different games that they had demos for, including Crash Team Racing, Final Fantasy VII, Cool Borders 4, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and Ape Escape on the first disc, and then a version of Tetris, Sled Storm, Gran Turismo 2, Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, and Spyro 2 Riptor's Rage. And then that gets us up to the Defeat the Dark Side promotion, in which Pizza Hut would join up with Taco Bell and KFC. something that I'm really looking forward to getting into in a future video. And that's going to wrap up the first video building towards that promotion of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Don't forget that if you want to get notifications on when those new videos drop, you got to subscribe to the channel. And that if we talked about something you have memories about, let me know in the comments. I do really enjoy hearing from people in that way. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking out this video. I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, you take care. Bye.